on these field trips with us, volunteer, come on. We couldn't name you all because there was too many. So thank you for coming to the field trips. Even if you just came to watch for a little bit yesterday, it was fun seeing you there. And you know, from the beginning of the year, all the field trips that we've been on.
We also have a lot of parents that volunteered and helped send food for soup samplers, so thank you for all of that, and for the parents that helped organize that to help make it as successful as it was. We've got some parents, and I can't remember who else came to help with t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's a big undertaking.
Well, you know, we make these really cool t-shirts, and it does take a long time to make, and we have parents that come. You know, I just always think Misty's gonna come because she makes them like that, and that she couldn't come this year. I was like, but we get aunts and grandmas, and please come, and they come. I'll call and they'll say, well, I can send my mom. Okay, that'll be great. So t-shirt making, lots of work for that. So then we have our maple syruping situation. Like we said, we had grandparents, grandpas, and uncles, and aunts, and moms, and grandmas. It was unbelievable. Then for tapping our trees, and Mr. Rasmussen, who has a kid in kindergarten. Then we had
Elizabeth will come back and help her cooking off.
a lot.
And the families that came and cooked off with us on Sunday.
And then we have pancake day, and we're like, okay, oh, I got one parent. Who'd you get? I didn't get anybody. Okay, so, because you know, it's field trip, pancake day, field trip, celebration. Parents can't get off work like, what are we thinking? Okay.
We're tired.
So, let's see, Bonnie came, Nathan's aunt came, and Jamie, who said I have to leave at 11, but I guess I can stay longer. Oh, good. So that was fun. And then we have today. So this is the deal. This is our 5th grade graduation for our students or celebration, and then I say, what parents can help organize this? Here, I have all of the stuff. Here, you do it. And they do it. And so it's just pretty amazing. What will we do next year?
We're gonna miss all of you. So thank you. Because we couldn't do half the stuff that we do with your kids without your help.
And your kids couldn't do half the stuff they do without your help and support.
Probably more than half.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Most of the stuff. So on with the show. We want to make sure that we didn't forget anybody, but even Math Masters, you had parents drive to Math Masters, and okay, so just so you know, pat yourselves on the back, you're wonderful.
Everybody, thank you.
We are going to start now with our little
And kids, make sure to thank your parents because they really do help. Right now.
yeah. Okay, so Mrs. Moon's gonna go get the little maple syrups that the kids made. Oh,
Can
and
we get them today, Mrs. Stiles?
I have to tell you another part of maple syruping, which by the way isn't a real word because it underlines every time I type it, is the day that we have to bottle the maple syrup. And that day happened to be a day when I was at an all-day meeting. So Mrs. Moon did it by herself with the kids, didn't she? And so, you know, you have to cook it down again. And then you have to put it through a filter. And then you have to cook it again, and then you have to put it through a filter. And then you can bottle it. And she and the kids pretty much did this by themselves. That was another one of those, what in the world are we doing? Okay, I'll move these.
She said it was okay to go without her.
Yeah. Friends would be remembered for, and then we go through and look at it, and we sort of pick what we like, and excuse me, and some things that we know about the kids that maybe their friends didn't put down. So I'm going to start with Tara. Tara.
Will you have to come up here?
Tara. Well, I just mixed them all up. So Tara. So I have a couple of things. The kids wrote, what did they write? Memoirs. I thought they were really good. I was just going to stick them in their books, but I'm not. I just am handing them to them. And at the beginning of the year, I am in 5th grade. I thought they could look back at those and see if it's the same, if they feel the same. Tara, let it be known forevermore that Tara shall always be remembered for her love of basketball, her hard work and determination, and being a cool, kind friend. As noted by his or her classmates and teacher, certifiably, basically true, and reasonably accurate. The 6th day of June, 2018. I'm Mrs. House, a witness to many great things.
So Alex Corral, there you are. So Alex will always be remembered for being super intelligent, an extreme gamer, and a dictionary expert. So we had new reading curriculum this year, and part of it was word work, and a lot of our word work made us look up words in the dictionary, and Alex is definitely the dictionary expert. I don't think anybody in my class would disagree with that. So Alex, those are the things that you will be remembered for.
Okay. Nolan will always be remembered for wearing a hoodie, even on the hottest days. Always. Nolan, your face is really red. Take off your sweatshirt. No, I'm fine. Mrs. Fouts, I don't feel so good. Take off your sweatshirt. For loving video games and sleeping. So, you know, Monday morning, he never slept in class, but we had one Monday morning meeting, so every time we talk about, what did you do over the weekend? I slept a lot. Okay. Here you go, Nolan.
Alexandra. So Alexandra, for her love of horses, I'll still remember at the beginning of the year she brought us her magazine where she was pictured with a horse, right? For her great drawing abilities. And also, I put this in very nice terms, if you will. I stole it from Mr. Moon, though, for being fun-sized. So you're not the shortest, you're just fun-sized, like the little candy bars.
Amber. So, Amber will always be remembered for being a great friend and role model, for being very quiet, and for loving animals. Although her parents tell me she's not that quiet at home. And I want to say for being such a good helper with the little youngster kids, because you enjoy doing that and they enjoy having you do that. Thank you. Nolan, did I give you a memory book? Come and get one. I am. It is.
That's why my kids, you'll get your other stuff later. Cheyenne. She is. So Cheyenne was new to us this year, and she will be remembered for always having good music, as told by her classmates, loving unicorns, and one thing that I'll always remember Cheyenne for was her great skills at trying to find the things that we've lost. Cheyenne and I spent a lot of time together looking for some items that we had lost almost on a daily basis, would you agree? So Cheyenne, those are the things you'll be remembered for.
So Garrett will always be remembered for his love of bowling, his love of cars and racing, being helpful, funny, and kind, and loving football. And I need to say also for giving me a hug for the last several weeks, daily. And I thought, what a great kid. And then he said, well, it was a dare.
Brody. So Brody will always be remembered for loving anything military or war related, liking to go off topic, happens a lot, and also for his love of reading. I don't know that I've seen anybody read books faster than Brody does, so.
Bennett. So Bennett will always be remembered for his love of anything with an engine, especially his ATVs, his love of fishing, and almost anything to do with the outdoors.
Aubrey. There you are. So Aubrey will always be remembered for being a great baker. She would frequently just bake cookies and bring them in, and I'd ask her why, and she said, well, because I baked cookies this morning or last night, so she would bring them in for us. Aubrey also has a love of unicorns and Harry Potter, as well as Aubrey always has colorful hair. So the tips of our hair have been anything from red to blue to purple to maybe pink this year. I don't think there was green, but we always have colorful hair. Yeah. So those are the things that you'll be remembered for.
Ethan Maines.
It's a loving sigh, I'm sure.
Ethan will always be remembered for loving trucks and lawnmowers and just about anything that works well for mudding. And I'm going to tell you this, for being a helpful kid, because you are very helpful, and being the class clown, you don't know how many people wrote that down. But they also wrote things like annoying Mrs. Faust, but I decided not to put that on there.
Nathan. So Nathan, even though you joined us later in the year, you can come back here, you made a lasting impression, especially with your flossing. I've outlawed flossing in the classroom and it just doesn't seem to go away, and they always say, but Mrs. Moon, the dentist tells you to floss. I said, yeah, but that's something different. So Nathan, you'll be remembered for your flossing and your love of video games.
Okay, somebody wrote that on one of my kids. I'm like, Mrs. Moon, what is flossing? Why would they write this?
I said it was that dance move you tried earlier today, Mrs. Faust.
Yes, I know, I did try it. Okay, Jade. Let it be known that Jade will always be remembered for loving Harry Potter. Okay, I don't know what we're allowed to do now. Do Harry Potter. No, I am not reading Harry Potter. For being fun and smart and helpful and always having a book in her hand. Not so much today, but most days.
Dylan. So Dylan, you will always be remembered for being a scientist, loving to build things, which we always get to hear about some of the different things that you've built, as well as, this kind of surprised me a little bit, I don't always see this side of Dylan, but for being very competitive at games. I've heard we're very competitive at Yoshi. So those are the things your classmates will remember you for.
Okay, Cody, should I read what they wrote about you, or the things that, okay, so, Cody Smith will always be remembered for his love of Ford trucks and dirt bikes, basically anything mechanical, exhaust pipes, every math. Think of a math situation that you can write for this equation. Well, my uncle had 1/2 of a foot of his exhaust pipe, and he needed to have another 1/2 a foot of exhaust pipe. What? And then this one, Cody, I have to say this, your what ifs. But what if they don't do that, Mrs. Fountain? What if I didn't do it?
Hunter. So Hunter, you will always be remembered for telling stories, your love of animals, and you love to tell stories about animals too, as well as for just being very kind and helpful to other people.
Maddie. So, Maddie will always be remembered for being a great artist, for being determined and hardworking in school and sports, and for being kind and fun. I would say sort of a fashionista also. Yes, I would say that. Well, she's looking at her clothes today. Usually, okay?
Jenna. So Jenna will always be remembered for, and I'm sure this is very surprising, for her love of reading. As I was talking to her about books to get her across the high ropes course yesterday. But something that we don't always know about Jenna that really surprised me at Track-A-Rama is for how fast she is as well. I think, did you place in the races for Track-A-Rama? Yeah, she got a ribbon. So that really surprised me. So you'll be remembered for your love of reading and being very fast. You might want to smile because your mom's going to take a picture.
Mickey. Oh, great. What's she gonna say? Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Mickey, you're always gonna be known for your talents in karate, for your smarts in math and reading, and for making cheesy puns and funny jokes.
So Katie will always be remembered for her love of hockey, laughing at everything. And when you get Katie laughing, it's not just like a small laugh. It's like that, oh my gosh, she's going to fall on the floor. She's belly laughing so hard. And then somebody put this in, it's like, oh my gosh, how could I not think about this? The other day, I said we have to clean up our coat hooks. And somebody was like, well, mine is clean. And I went and looked. I was like, there's shoes everywhere. Katie had, I think it was 5 or 6 pairs of shoes on her coat hook, and it wasn't on her coat hook, it was on like 5 coat hooks down too, because they were stretched out that far. So I don't know how many shoes she's got at home, but there were a lot here. So, so you'll also be remembered for your millions of pairs of shoes that you have at school.
Dylan. So Dylan will always be remembered for his love of pets, especially his dog. He always talks about his dog, Racy, right? And always helping out. Oh my gosh, you should have seen him at maple syruping. He would hurry up and get his bag empty so he'd come back and help snow around the barrels, or it was constant. Help fill out or dump the other bags. He doesn't have them on today, but he likes to wear boots, like cowboy boots, square-toed. He and Ethan both, and making people smile.
Kyle. So Kyle will always be remembered for the surprising thing that people wrote about you was for eating lunch with the girls. But I'm pretty sure that we ate lunch with the girls because the other thing that it said is because of how strong we are. So we must have just been helping opening things at lunch. That's why we ate with the girls, right? Yeah.
Kaylee. So Kaylee is always going to be remembered for being kind and having a smile on her face. Smile, Kaylee. For being an awesome goalie and a softball player. And what? Can you explain that, Kaylee? Oh, come on. She raises her hand. Kaylee, what? Her mom and I had a conversation about that, how she does that to her too. It was what? Or, I forgot. Me? Yeah, Kaylee. You're the only Kaylee in here. I'm calling on you.
Carson. So Carson will always be remembered for being an athletic jokester who likes to dance. Yeah. So I just tied those three things together. So you're joking around, and your love of dancing, and of course being athletic.
Braden. I love Braden. I had Braden's brother Gavin too. They were so much alike. What do you think that every single person wrote? Well, I didn't put it down as crudely as they did. I just have to say, Braden will be remembered for being a human whoopee cushion. Sorry. Everybody wrote it. But he's very good at math, and he's very good at making people laugh.
Wild. So Wild will always be remembered for his love of math. People wrote that you were a math whiz. Wild also loves origami. Even today they were talking about, hey Wild, can you make an origami graduation hat? I don't think we did, right? I think there was talk about other hats that we could make with origami. And also for having a great imagination.
Corbin. Okay. I was nicer than they were, this way you know. Okay, Corbin will always be remembered for being a power kicker in kickball, loving to play Fortnite. Oh, you should have heard them about Kill Me, because I didn't know what Fortnite was. I'm looking at you, Cody. Do you like Fortnite? I said, what is it? And they just about went nuts. Why? I don't have kids at home anymore. I don't know these things. Okay. For being funny, kind, helpful. Should I read what they wrote? No, I better not. Yeah. My math class.
Maybe later. So Tyler, what your classmates will always remember you for, and this is a perfect one. Why don't you turn a little bit this way? Tyler loves sports, but he also is an advertiser, I believe, for Under Armour. Every day we have, I don't even know how much Under Armour we have. What I'm going to remember Tyler for is I don't think I've ever had a child pick on me as much as Tyler does, constantly. And he's kind of a little bit of a magnet to me too, so if anybody ever runs into me, I don't even have to look anymore. It's like, Tyler, get out of my face. Just always right there, bumping into me all the time. So Tyler, that's what you're going to be remembered for.
Cody Pejos. Why? Oh my gosh, I haven't said anything and somebody needs to teach Ethan what roasted really means. I've tried several times. Okay, Cody. So, maybe I should take my shoes off so I can show everybody how tall you are. For being tall and strong, lots of people wrote down how strong you are. And loving bowling, Really? Because every Monday when we had morning meeting, well, I bowled a da-da-da-da-da in this lane, da-da-da-da-da in this game. Every day, every time. For being helpful, for being nice, and put your hands up for a second. For having huge hands.
Nevaeh. So Nevaeh will always be remembered for being a great dancer, giving people hugs. And this last one didn't make sense to me until yesterday on the field trip, but it's for saying potato, and I didn't get it, so can we do this? Potato.
Potato.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Pretzel.
Pretzel with cheese.
And mustard.
That's fine.
I don't know what that means, but that's what was being said out on the high ropes course. It's like, that makes sense with the whole saying potato.
Amelia, where are you? Amelia will always, oh, she's not up here yet. Okay, I'll wait. She will always be remembered for her love of origami. I have beautiful origami birds, I have origami frogs, not as bad as last year, and hats that she likes to wear. And anything art related. She'll be known for being kind and helpful. And I didn't know this, but loving alpacas? I didn't know that you'd help train alpacas? Is that true? Wow. She also is a great dancer.
Robert. Hi. So Robert will always be remembered, I think just about everybody put it, for your love of Star Wars and all things movie. So every Monday morning meeting, Robert would just like rattle off this list of movies that we watched over the weekend. So he, I think at one point said, I think I've watched more movies than anybody, or something to that effect. And we agreed with him at that point. The other thing that Robert will always be remembered for is constantly telling stories. All the time. Robert, quit telling stories. Robert, quit telling stories. But they're great stories. So Robert, you're going to be remembered for Star Wars, movies, and stories.
Simon.
Told ya.
Okay, so this is the one. Simon will always be remembered for being a great gamer, a great singer, and dancer, and then that was the one that was the floss. Show us, Simon. I tried, I could not do it. And being funny and smart.
Riley. There he is. So Riley's always going to be remembered for being a great peer leader and safety patroller. He took his job very seriously. For also having just the kindest heart. Riley is one of the sweetest kids I think I've ever met. Your classmates are also going to remember you, Riley, for being a great soccer player.
Lily. So, I don't think that you would look at this beautiful young lady and even consider that this would be true, but she's been known to be a great giggler. Well, let's see where Dylan is. Dylan and Jade, they sit across from each other and it's giggle, giggle, giggle. Okay, but she's also known for working hard in sports and school and being a great friend and brightening everyone's day with a beautiful smile.
Sophia. So Sophia will always be remembered for being very funny. She was my other student that loved to pick on Mrs. Moon, in particular if it was walking around and poking me. Your love of YouTube, and for just overall being a great friend to everybody.
Ethan Klinger. So Ethan was new to our school this year, but he'd been here before. He was so quiet at the beginning for about a day and a half. Come on over here, Ethan. But he fit right in with those other kids that were so quiet at the beginning too, right? So I didn't write this down, and I don't know why, because I've known this from the beginning that he is a big, humongous football fan.
Would have never guessed.
Would have never guessed. No. But you'll always be remembered for fitting in easily, being kind and helpful, being tall, lots of kids said that, and loving to play Fortnite. Probably more than anybody else in the school, according to whoever wrote that one. Oh, Nolan would be it? Okay, well, and I should have said, and his love of football, because I knew that. But it's been great having you here this year.
So I also have some certificates that we're going to pass out. We had a group of 5th graders go up to Duluth in the end of April for a Math Masters competition. So will Wild and Alex and Maddie and Alexandra and Aubrey come up and you can get your certificates. This is one of the many activities that the 5th graders get to do. They just did not have a formal time to get their certificates yet.
So this is a difficult math competition. Not everything is, I don't know, it was just lots of hard work.
It's a really interesting competition because you've never heard so many kids sitting so quietly at the start of this, and then it's just the sound of paper slipping and pencils going wildly across the paper. So they did an individual fact round for 5 minutes. They did individual rounds for 10 minutes where they had these crazy word problems, and then they had some team rounds that they participated in too. So it was a lot of fun to get to see them compete in that. Some other things that the students have done though, we had students that participated in Battle of the Books this year.
Yeah, raise your hand if you're a Battle of the Books person. And we went to competition with them.
Yep, so they had a list of 20 books that they read and competed with throughout the year. And some of them went to competition at the middle school with the other district level. We had our spelling bee participants.
That was all. We didn't do the speech contest this year. Nobody did. Love that so much. Okay, so this is like the end of our presentation. What the kids will be able to do now, I brought my markers out. They can have their t-shirts signed, but we have food over there, and we need to make sure that we figure out a way to go back there and get the food without trampling everybody. 5th graders, you can get food, of course. And just get one thing to begin with. I mean, we have one. And we have maple syrup to sell. If anybody wants maple syrup, it's first come, first serve, and I already have a check. Woo!